Hey guys, welcome to Let's Chat with Londyn. I am your host, Lundyn Brown. I am going to be your surgery guide through Matamoros. Now, I am super excited to start this channel and hopefully it can be very helpful. Right now, I answer hundreds and hundreds of inboxes for women. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lundyn Brown. I own Exquisite Dollhouse, Texas. Right now, we are the fastest and biggest growing recovery home in Brownsville, Texas. We service Matamoros, Progressive, and Reynosa. So all girls that's traveling out there to have surgery and they need to come back to the States to recover, we are your home. We are a post-op luxury recovery home. You can check us out at exquisitedollhouse.com or 888-918-0690, extension 5. Let's get right into it. So I'm going to start off with just a few things. We're going to kind of be walking. It's going to be more of a surgery guide, so kind of walking you through. There's so many women that want to get surgery out of the country and they are so afraid because they feel like, oh, if I stay in the States, it's much safer. That is not always the case. I will tell you, the States have a lot of deaths and a lot of infections just like anywhere else. You know, the only difference is going out of the country is that they are not limited to the amount of fat they can take out. So you're more likely to get the result that you're looking for going out of the country. We're going to make that easy for you. All right, so where are we traveling to? Let's go. We are traveling to Matamoros. That's where we are. Let's talk about some of the big players. Before we even go into the big players out there, let's talk about what you need to go over there. So anytime you're traveling to Mexico by land, you only need your original birth certificate and your driver's license. That's it. No passport, nothing like that. Couple tips that you're going to want to remember. You're going out of the country. Things are going to be different. Don't go over there expecting the American treatment because you're not. Don't go over there being rude or disrespectful. Don't try to travel with drugs. Don't go over there doing anything other than what you need to be doing. You get a ride, go over there, go get your surgery. They keep you a night, spend a night, and then get your butt back to the States. It's easy, okay? And it's been done by many women. All right, let's get started. Let's talk about some of our major players out there, right? You're like, who is major players? Now, I just want to let you know this list is not all inclusive. There are tons and tons of surgeons out there. So this is in no way to encourage you or suggest that you use these surgeons. But these are surgeons that we are most familiar with because many of the girls that we service, they get work with these surgeons. I encourage you to do your research. We can help you through that process, but we're never going to make the decision for you. The decision has to be yours. Okay? All right. Let's hop into it. So, player number one. I'm going to talk about my favorite, my number one. Of course, you're going to say, why? Yes, because he's the one who does my work. Dr. Martin Castillo, right? Yeah, I know. If you're in the surgery groups out for Matamoros, you're going to see a whole bunch of this, a whole bunch of that for all of the surgeons. But he's the one that's done the most work for me. I have had a tummy tuck, muscle repair, and lipo 360. I will be traveling back soon for breast reduction and lift. So if you see my boobs, see how big they are? Yes, I'm going to be traveling to get those things taken off. Okay? I've had nothing added because I was already born with a big booty, so I didn't need a BBL. I'm not a fan of big booties, but it's kind of there, so I just kind of leave it. You know, tomato. So Dr. Castillo is number one. Now, mind you, all of these surgeons are going to have multiple coordinators, but I'm going to just talk about some of the coordinators that I know. Okay. And then as the days go by and the research comes and I drop more videos, I'll start giving you more and more of what I find out. We're going to talk about so much stuff. We're going to talk about the drama. We're going to talk about what to stay away from, what to look for, what you need, things of that nature. Okay. So Dr. Martin Castillo, you can find him through two of his coordinators. One is Indira Morello, and then the other one is Arlen. They have two groups. One is Dr. Martin Castillo. That's one of his groups. And then the other group that they are I think it's CEMC, or I'll have to look. I'll post it underneath my video under the caption, or I'll post it right below me speaking so you can find these people, okay? Then let's talk about another one. We call him the king of lipo, Dr. Maldonado, right? So he's known for giving a snatch look with the lipo 360. Let me take you back to Dr. Castillo real quick. Dr. Castillo is a super safe type of surgeon. So there are some things that you may be able to go to another surgeon and get with certain numbers that you can't get with him. He doesn't have a BMI limit, but he is all about hemo, your A1C. So if your hemo is below, a lot of times 12, he's not going to do multiple surgeries. He's only going to give you one. All right, we're going to hop back into Maldonado. Maldonado, known as the king of lipo. He does really good work. The coordinator that I know for him, who's actually we're very friendly, is Daisy Flores. And she has a group, and I believe it's called Joel Maldonado, and I will post that as well. So that's two. We got two major players, Dr. Martin Castillo and Dr. Joel Maldonado. Now, let's talk about the next one is Dr. Chavez. Dr. Chavez is huge out there too. Dr. Rivera, I'll have to find the coordinators for these surgeons and then get them underneath it. Dr. Minerva Fasudo, Dr. Gullian, which is, who is Dr. Gullian's? I have to think about it. I will get you the information. But I know, I actually know his coordinator. I probably can find it if I went through it right here. And then we have Dr. Piazz. We're very friendly with Dr. Piazz. Dr. Piazz, I believe, does have a BMI limit. And his coordinator is Liz. She's very sweet. That's his sister. Now, let's talk about the group of doctors, right? Because there's these independent doctors. Oh, before I talk about the group of doctors, one more doctor that's up and coming is Dr. Garcia, Karen Garcia. Recently, in later days, she's been getting really big. Her coordinator is Wera. Now, let's talk about the Body by Doctor. Body by Doctor. So then we have independent doctors, which is the ones I just gave you. And then we have Body by Doctor, which is probably the largest group out there that covers many different surgeons. They have two coordinators. One name is Ashley, and the other one name is Angeline. Super sweet, Angeline. Ashley and Angeline. So two of their coordinators, they coordinate all surgeries with Body by Doctors. Some of the major players under Body by Doctor is Dr. Salgado. He's the GOAT. I'm going to tell you, anybody whose work he's done that has stayed at my recovery house has been snatched to the gods, okay? There's Dr. Ledesma, who's very popular out there as well. And then I'm trying to think if there's any other super duper popular ones. I'm not sure if Dr. Rivera is under Body by Doctor. I'll have to look at it. But I know Dr. Chavez is not. So those are some of the major players. Now, an up-and-coming riser, star, or more popular doctor that I'm hearing that's outside of Matamoros that is actually in Reynosa is Dr. Tello. So I heard Dr. Tello is Beastie, and then Dr. Da Vinci. Dr. Da Vinci is also in Reynosa. So the doctors I named before, Dr. Castillo, Maldonado, Chavez, Rivera, Minerva, Dr. Piazz, Salgado, and Ledesma. They are all in Matamoros, Mexico. Dr. Tello and Dr. Da Vinci is in Reynosa. I have to find you some doctors in Progreso because I just started servicing the Progreso area. So as I learn more about their most popular doctors, I'll bring that information to you too. I will list the coordinators for you below so you can see who the coordinators are. And also I will list any groups I can find underneath. Here's some things you're gonna wanna look for when you go into the groups, right? Because surgery, the research on surgery is it can be extremely biased. You have to take it with a grain of salt. If you're looking for results, don't talk to the coordinators. Remember, the coordinators sell the doctors. So if you want to get real results, what you do is you observe, you find the people that have had the surgery, and you go in their inbox and talk to them and ask them to see pictures and how their experience was. Mind you, there's a lot of women that don't come forward because you'll see in these groups, they have a bad habit of attacking you if you have an opinion that's different than yours. Do not let that scare you off. I'm a very neutral person, regardless of whatever my thought process is about the doctors. I will only give you facts. So if you feel lost along the way, Exquisite Dollhouse, that's my group. My name is Lundyn Brown. Find me, inbox me, whatever, and we can talk about it, and I'll kind of help you or guide you in the right direction. But you're looking for real results. Now, do not come into this arena thinking that you're going to find somebody with no deaths, because a surgeon with no deaths means they either just started operating or they don't operate enough. Because when you're operating on thousands of women, you are prone to have some sort of complication eventually. Remember, surgery is a very serious risk, and I'm not gonna make light of that. It's something you have to go into being sure, do your research, look at the infection rate. Don't listen to everybody. Take it with a grain of salt, because you will have girls that will be in there that will be upset with their feedback. And it's more so, or not feedback, sorry, their results. And it's because in their mind, the expectation is you lay on the table, you get up, you walk out looking like a vixen. That's not always the case. It's almost never the case. Some of this stuff takes lots of rounds to do. Remind you, you didn't get fat overnight. It took you years. So it's going to take some time to get it right. Patience, rounds, tight, have a realistic expectation. You know, don't go in there and think you're going to walk off and look like the supermodel off the cover of the magazine, because that's not always the situation, especially with us plus or full voluptuous women, okay? So be prepared for that. When you look, you have to kind of weed out what's research, what's emotion, because remember, after surgery, women are extremely emotional. What's emotion? It's a lot of drama in the groups. I'm telling you, it is so much. There's so many women that don't have a lot of, they don't have a lot to do. So they have a lot of time on their hands. So they're not even having surgery with the surgeons. They're literally just there to stir up drama. You have to be able to weed that out. Look for the real results. That's how you find the research on your doctors. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back with a new video. Again, I'm going to drop some information below this. Hopefully by the time it's published, the information is already there, so you can find these doctors. We're here to help. Again, my name is Lundyn Brown. Thank you for joining me. You're on Let's Chat with Lundyn.